Hello, wonderful friends. Today, we're going to journey back in time to a big, beautiful city called Babylon. In the grand city of Babylon, there lived a man named Daniel. He wasn't just any man. He was special because he loved God with his whole heart, every single day. Daniel was very wise, and God had given him a special gift to understand dreams and make good choices. The great King Darius, who ruled over the land, saw how smart and trustworthy Daniel was. He liked Daniel very much and made him one of the most important helpers in the whole kingdom. The king knew that when Daniel was in charge, everything was done right. Daniel was always honest and fair, and he worked hard to serve both the king and God. Everyone in the palace knew Daniel, the man who always had a kind word and a wise answer, all because he listened to God. But oh dear, not everyone was happy about Daniel being the king's favorite. Some of the other officials in the palace started to feel a grumpy, green feeling in their hearts. It was jealousy. They whispered to each other, "Why does King Darius like Daniel so much? He gets all the praise." They huffed and they puffed, trying to find something, anything, that Daniel was doing wrong. They watched him while he worked, they spied on him when he talked, but they couldn't find a single mistake. Daniel was just too good and too honest. So, these tricky officials came up with a sneaky plan. They went to King Darius, bowing very low. "Oh, King Darius, live forever," they said with big, fake smiles. "We have a wonderful idea. To show everyone how great and powerful you are, let's make a new law. For the next 30 days, no one in the whole kingdom is allowed to pray to any god or any person except for you, our mighty king. And if anyone breaks this law, they must be thrown into the den of lions." King Darius, thinking it was a good way to unite his kingdom, didn't see their tricky trap. He thought it sounded like a fine idea and signed the law, making it official. The new rule was sent all over the land, and no one, not even the king himself, could change it. Now, Daniel heard about the new law. He knew it was a trick. Did it scare him? Not one bit. Daniel knew that praying to God was the most important thing he could do. So, just like he did every single day, Daniel went to his room upstairs. He opened his windows that faced toward Jerusalem, the city where God's temple once stood. He knelt down on his knees and began to pray. He didn't hide. He didn't whisper. He prayed out loud, thanking God for his goodness and asking for his help. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening, 3 times a day, just like always. Of course, those sneaky officials were watching. Peeking and spying, they saw Daniel praying. We've got him," they whispered excitedly. They rushed back to the king's throne room as fast as their legs could carry them. "Oh, king," they shouted. "Did you not sign a law that no one should pray to any god but you for 30 days? The king nodded. "Yes, I did, and that law cannot be changed." Then, with wicked grins, they said, "Well, that man Daniel, your favorite helper, he isn't obeying you. We saw him praying to his God 3 times today." When King Darius heard this, his heart sank like a heavy stone. Oh no, he had been tricked. The law was a trap for his best friend, Daniel. The king felt so sad and upset with himself. He spent the whole rest of the day trying to find a way to save Daniel. He paced back and forth in his palace, thinking and thinking. "There must be a way," he mumbled to himself. He called his lawyers and asked, "Can we change the law? Can we make an exception?" But the law of the Medes and Persians was very strict. Once it was made, not even the king could break it. As the sun began to set, the jealous officials came back. "King," they said sternly, "you know the law. It cannot be changed. Daniel must be thrown to the lions." The king's shoulders slumped. With a very heavy heart, he knew what he had to do. He looked at Daniel with tears in his eyes and said, "Daniel, I am so sorry. May your God, whom you serve so faithfully, rescue you." And with great sadness, the king gave the order. The soldiers led Daniel away to the lion's den. The lion's den was a big, deep pit with hungry, roaring lions inside. It was a scary place where no one could survive. The soldiers carefully lowered Daniel down into the darkness. Then, a huge stone was rolled over the opening of the den, and the king sealed it with his own special ring. Now, no one could get in or out. It was a long, dark, and lonely night for King Darius. He went back to his palace but couldn't eat his dinner. He didn't want to listen to music or be entertained. He just paced his room, praying for his friend. "Oh, God of Daniel," he whispered into the night. "Please, Please keep him safe. Please save him from the lions." The whole night, he didn't sleep a wink. As soon as the first light of morning peeked over the horizon, King Darius jumped out of bed and rushed to the lion's den. His heart was beating like a drum. He was so worried. When he got to the den, he called out with a trembling voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve all the time, been able to save you from the lions?" He held his breath and listened. Then, from inside the dark pit, a voice called back. It was Daniel. "Oh, King, live forever," Daniel said cheerfully. "My God sent his angel, and the angel shut the mouths of the lions. They haven't hurt me at all, because God knew I was innocent and that I had done no wrong to you, my king." The king was overjoyed. He was so happy he could have danced. "Get him out. Get him out right now," he commanded. The soldiers quickly rolled the heavy stone away and helped Daniel out of the den. They checked him all over, from his head to his toes. And guess what? There wasn't a single scratch on him, not even a tiny bite. The lions hadn't touched him. God had performed a wonderful miracle. The king gave Daniel a great big hug, so happy to see his friend safe and sound. But King Darius was also very angry with the tricky officials who had set the trap. He ordered his guards to bring them, along with their families, and throw them into the very same lion's den. The moment they were tossed in, the hungry lions pounced, showing how powerful God's miracle had truly been. Then, King Darius wrote a new letter to be sent to every person in his entire kingdom. It said, "Everyone in my kingdom must fear and respect the God of Daniel, for he is the living God. He performs amazing signs and wonders. He rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." And so, my friends, the story of Daniel teaches us something very important. When we have faith in God, he gives us the courage to do what is right, even when it's scary. Daniel trusted God completely, and God protected him in a miraculous way. Remember, no matter what happens, if you trust in him with all your heart, God is always with you. And he is strong enough to shut the mouths of any lions you might face. He is our helper and our protector forever and ever. What a wonderful God we have.